So we've officially been in our Florida house for 1 week now, and I can confidently say I underestimated two things. Number one is how much money we would spend with this move, and number two, how happy we would be. We're really happy here. So today I want to share what surprised me the most. I'm Maggie Schneider, and this is the Slow Living Era podcast, a podcast about starting over, slowing down, and building a life that fits you through motherhood, big moves, and everything in between. Let's jump into today's episode. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is how much money we've spent, even though this is a new construction home. So I think people think new construction means turnkey. Yes, it is a nice new house. Nobody has lived here. Everything is clean and tidy. We have access to our site manager, who has been here a couple times already since we've moved in, just to fix little small things. Like there's like a railing, issue. There was, we had the cleaners come because the floor was super, super dusty when we moved in. I don't know if they kind of forgot that part before we moved in, but it was nice because the movers tracked in a bunch of mud anyway. So just little things like that. It's been nice to have access to that, and we have their support for the next year. But nobody talks about all of the little things that you get from your previous owners when you move into a house that somebody's already lived in. So for this house, we've already decided we need to spend money on blinds and gutters. I didn't realize Florida houses were not built with gutters, which is interesting because it rains here, and when it rains, it seriously downpours. It's pretty much rained almost every afternoon that we've been here, just a quick shower, but it is like a crazy shower, like a downpour where you look out your window and it's just a sheet of water outside. So that just doesn't sound like it would be good for your foundation over time. So we're definitely going to invest in some gutters. And then just little things. So we had, the only thing as far as like hardware that the builders put in were toilet paper holders. But there's no hardware on the bathroom cabinets. We don't have towel bars or towel hooks, which, like, we're in Florida. We're using a lot of towels to go to the beach, to go to the pool, and then of course just for everyday showering. There's no like garage storage or anything. The garage is just completely a blank slate. I know when we left our house in Maryland, we left like tons of shelving. We left our fridge in the garage. We left a lot of stuff just because we knew we weren't going to have space to move it in the actual moving truck. But in hindsight, I'm like, oh man, that would have been nice to just have ready to go. But obviously, we're going to invest in that somewhere down the road just to have some organization out there. The landscaping was done, but there is definitely some things that we will want to do in the future. We have a small covered patio right now, but it's very small. We'll probably need to extend that in some way and have some sort of walkway from the garage, from the driveway rather. The driveway is very narrow for two cars to be in there at the same time. So just adding a little pathway just so that there's less mud and all of that. Also other things, just like cabinet organizers, trash cans. We don't have like the outdoor trash bins yet for the trash company to come and get our stuff. So luckily, there's a dumpster right at the end of our street that we've been taking stuff to, which we're totally not supposed to do that. But what choice do we have other than to let everything accumulate in our garage? And you can see I'm in my closet right now. We opted to not have the wire racks put in. But the downside of that is that now we have all of these boxes of clothes that I can't unpack because I have nowhere to put them. So that is going to be our priority for the next week or so. My dad and stepmom are coming, so I'm hoping they can help us out with the kids a little bit just so we can build at least some of the closet so we can start hanging up some of these clothes. You don't realize how many clothes you have until you have to box them all up. I mean, I think I have 7 boxes right here behind me and then another 7 in front of me, and it's all clothes and shoes, which is like, wow. So yeah, all of those little organizational pieces you don't realize that new construction houses don't have. So we're working on that. That is kind of priority number 1, just so that we can start fully unpacking things. There's a lot of furniture that we need to buy too, but Obviously, you don't expect that with a new build, but it's just something to consider when you're moving into a different layout home. Even though our square footage is roughly the same from our Maryland house, the way that it's laid out is so different. So, like, we have an extra bedroom and then we have like a true office space. So, we need furniture for all those extra rooms. Not complaining by any means. I'm loving the functionality of this home. It's just the added expense. And of course, that brings me to point number 2, which is the decision fatigue. We have been, my husband and I, we're not bickering. I don't want to say it like that, but like our priorities are different. I am very much in like organizational and shopping mode because I know there's so many things we need. And he is kind of the doer. Like he's he's not type A, but he's very type A about like hanging things and making sure everything's level and just like those little things. So we're kind of on different pages with some of this stuff. And yeah, just, he'll ask me a question. I'm like, I can't think about that right now. I'm thinking about something else. And that is not my priority right now. That's been my saying. I say that to the kids probably 5 times a day because they're like, can you do this with me? Can you do that with me? It's not that I don't want to play with them. I just want to get stuff done. And it's hard. So yeah, just that decision fatigue and trying to figure out like what is priority number 1 has been a little bit exhausting. I've been staying up much later than usual. I'm usually like a 10 o'clock bedtime kind of person, but I have not been able to fall asleep because I'm like scrolling. Of course, it's Prime Week, so I've been scrolling, trying to find all the deals, buy furniture, buy sheets, buy curtains, curtain rods, all of the things that like we kind of need as soon as possible. And it's just a lot. Every day feels like we're asking ourselves a lot of questions, making a lot of decisions. You're not sure if it's the right decision. Obviously, it's like curtains, you can change that down the road if you don't like your choice, but you want to make the right decision the first time. So we're trying to just prioritize and just remind ourselves, like, here is what's important. Like, everything can wait. Nothing is super urgent, right? Obviously, it's nice to have, but we just want our house to feel like home as soon as possible. So it's hard. Owning a new home feels like you're managing a never-ending to-do list, and probably every homeowner thinks that, but especially when you first move into a house, it is a little bit overwhelming. So, again, not complaining, very happy, but lots of decisions. And then I want to share some good news. So I feel like we already know that we've made the right decision. Like I feel like our energy is just shifted, and like we're very, very happy. And it's like dead of summer. It's very hot right now. I think this past week has been like the highest temperatures of the year, or I don't know, record high temperatures basically. But it still doesn't feel that hot. I mean, we're pretty close to the beach. We're about 2 miles from the beach, so there's a nice breeze. But you still don't want to go outside in the middle of the day. But other than that, I mean, we are at the pool or at the ocean almost every single day. I think we missed one day so far, but like, yeah, we are putting our bathing suits on. We are enjoying time outside. I've been trying to go for my morning walk, which I totally missed when we were in that transitional house that we were in. We just weren't able to walk around outside there because they're kind of on a big hill. It wasn't a mountain, but kind of. So yeah, getting outside every day, getting hit with the sunshine, even though it's hot. I'm not complaining about that at all. We've been out in the evening a few nights, and we've been able to hang out with our neighbors who have kids the same age as my kids, and it was just so cute. Like, man, kids this age, they're just happy to play with anyone. Like, they don't have a preference. They're just happy to have someone to play with. It's very nice. We obviously wanted Florida because we wanted somewhere that made it feel easier to be outside, and it truly is. Like, there's no buckling shoes and putting on snow pants and jackets and looking at our weather app to know what the temperature is. Like, obviously it's June. We know it's going to be hot. So like, we're going outside in our flip-flops and shorts and a tank top, and we are happy as can be. So that has been nice. Obviously there's beach gear and pool gear and stuff like that to manage. But we just kind of have a designated bag for that. And when we go to the beach, I mean, we brought the canopy the first day, when we went in the morning, but we haven't really we never sit down when we're at the beach with the kids. Like, maybe we sit in the sand and build a sandcastle, but they are like in the water splashing, so there's no point in bringing beach chairs and blankets and canopies and all of that kind of gear at this point. which is great because it makes for a really like casual, relaxing experience. We actually went to Mass for the first time here on Sunday, and we went to the 9 o'clock Mass, and then right after that, it's like really close to the beach. So right after, we just went to the beach, like brought our bathing suits with us and put them on in the car and just hopped over to the beach for an hour or two before it was time for my little one's nap. And I was like, this is just so cool. Like, we live this close to the beach that it's just that easy to do. And the church that we went to was really great as well. That was the one that was recommended to us by our neighbors. I was actually looking at a different one. They're both, kind of 10 minutes away or so. But yeah, I'm just really happy that we found this community, and I hope we continue to meet cool people. And I know a lot of our neighbors are starting to move in still, so we'll meet even more people, hopefully more people with kids and other moms that we can kind of relate to. Obviously, it's only been a week, but I already feel like we're living the life that we have wanted. We haven't really hit that slowing down piece, which is obviously the name of this podcast and the main reason that we wanted to move. But it's because we're so busy with everything going on with this house. So I'm hopeful that, once things slow down a little bit with the house, we'll be able to fully embrace that slower living that we have been wanting. So obviously this house is not finished. We are far from being finished. There's a lot of work to do. I'm anticipating it's going to take another year to like fully feel settled in and have everything in its right place and have all the furniture we need. But that's okay. We're still figuring it out. We are not in a rush. We plan on being here for a long time. So I think sometimes we're just waiting for life to feel complete before we let ourselves fully enjoy it. But with this house, we are not. We are out and about. We're not going to spend 12 hours a day unpacking. We are, trying to mix in the fun with the work and also get work done for our regular jobs. That has been a struggle, but I know we'll get back into our routine a little bit soon. We're just letting our kids relax and be bored and entertain themselves, and we are trying to get as much unpacked as we can. And that brings me to my last point. A lot of people have asked how the kids are doing, how they're adjusting. They really haven't missed a beat, honestly. They are just happy that they're with us. Like, they don't really notice that their whole routine has changed. To them, they think they're on vacation. I don't know. Because every day they're like, what are we going to do today? What are we going to do today? Which they kind of are. I mean, we're going to be homeschooling, so it's not like they're going to get back into that school routine anytime soon. We'll see how it goes. I'm not making any promises that homeschooling will be a forever thing, but we're going to try it out for this year. But yeah, they seem really happy too. They are loving being outside. They're loving the beach. They're loving the pool. They're seeing their grandparents a lot, which is nice. And then I know just once they make some more friends, they'll be even happier. I can tell they have asked about their home friends a couple of times, but it's not like in a sad way at all. It's kind of like they wrote like a letter, like a pen pal kind of thing to one of their friends. My son had one of his friends' little toys, so like that brought some things up about that friend. But yeah, overall, I mean, this has been a great age to move, even though it's challenging physically and demanding that they're like kind of always at our feet. But as far as like the emotional toll that has taken on them, it really has been pretty non-existent. They seem really happy, so I'm happy if they're happy, which is great. So I want to end with, if you have ever moved, what was the one thing nobody warned you about after buying a house? Because I feel like I have a very long list, and I would love to hear your side of things, especially if you bought a new construction house. This is our first new construction house, so it's definitely been different than we expected. And I'm just, curious to hear your thoughts. When we decided to move here, we spent so much time just imagining what this week would look like. We thought we'd be all moved in and settled within a week or two. It's so funny. Joke's on us. There's so much to do still, but the truth is I don't feel settled, but I do feel at peace. I feel really happy here. My energy is great here, even though I'm not sleeping super well. I'm just excited to be in the place where I feel like we are meant to be. And that's not to say Florida is meant for everyone. I feel like I have to put that disclaimer out there because I gain nothing from you moving to Florida. I am not a realtor or anything like that. If you want to move here, great. But what I really want for all of you is to find a place that gives you that peaceful feeling that I am experiencing right now. So whether it's the mountains, the lakes, Europe, I don't know, abroad, wherever, I hope that you find that, and maybe you don't have to move at all. Maybe it's right in your backyard. So as always, thank you so much for being here and listening to the Slow Living Era podcast. I'm Maggie, and I'm signing off.
For more resources, links from today's episode, or information about working with me, you can head to maggieslowliving.com. And as always, thank you for spending part of your day with me. I'll see you back here next week for another episode of the Slow Living Era podcast.